Hey guys, welcome to another beer review. Just got finished pouring my beer into my glass here, and I'm using a special glass. I work at a brewery, and this is one of our pint glasses. It's Buckeye Lake Brewery. A couple minutes from my house. I just bartend there. Check out the website. Check us out on Facebook. We have a small little brew pub, 7-barrel system. We don't bottle or anything. We sell growlers, but really awesome place. So check it out. And on this beer review, it is so hot in Ohio. I think it's almost 90 degrees, which to me is just way too hot. Anything above 80 to me just seems to be too hot. I was working today with my parents, taking some stuff we bought at a storage auction, cleaning it up and getting it ready to sell. So I wanted a nice ice cold beer that was going to be really easy to drink for the summer, and that is Pabst Blue Ribbon, also known as PBR. This beer has been around, it seems like, forever. I've always known about it, and it is selected as America's Best in 1893. So I don't know if it's been around since then or what, but it is. It says 1844, so maybe, I don't know. But it's obviously been around for a long time. It's I think it kind of came that almost like that, I guess per se, white trash beer for a while, but it's now came back as kind of a hipster beer. The younger crowd seems to be drinking it at bars and everything. So I actually have had this beer before, and I don't really have anything bad to say about it, but I won't give away too much. So let's get into the review of Pabst Blue Ribbon PBR. Okay, for the rest of my glass, you can see the head was really huge behind that Buckeye Lake Brewery logo when I first poured it in, because I poured it straight in actually. It's kind of mellowed out to a very thin film layer of foam. Looks like soapy bubbles on top. I'm not sure if you can see that. And then it's just very, very straw colored in there. You can definitely tell that big time. And it's, straw yellow, but not as much carbonation as I was expecting to come up from the bottom. Let's give it a smell. Wow, it's definitely, man, it's like cornstarch, corn syrup kind of smell. Definitely, they must use corn as an adjunct, or rice, I'm not sure, but it's got that kind of grainy, sweet grainy smell. Yeah, it's the sweet grainy. You do maybe get a touch of those hops in there to kind of balance it out. You can tell it's going to be a little bit sweet. It definitely has a pretty big grain note in there. Yeah, so far the smell, I mean, it's not the greatest. I don't think they really make these beers to smell good, so it's it's not bad. But let's get into the taste. Okay, here we go, guys. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Cheers. Not bad. Super, super smooth. Doesn't leave a lot on your tongue. You get a little bit of a hint, a very small hint of bitterness. It's not overly sweet. It's pretty grainy. Not a lot of carbonation. Just goes down very smooth. Yeah, this the sweetness is coming through a little bit more. The bitterness, there's no really not. There's just a small amount of bitterness, but it's way in the background. It's definitely very green sweetness forward, and that's kind of what lingers on your tongue as you're drinking it. And there's not just a lot to this beer. It's all right. It's it's really hard. It's just one note. You keep getting the same taste over and over again. But let me sip on this one for a little bit longer, and I'll come back with my final thoughts on Pabst Blue Ribbon PBR. Okay, guys, I think I've drank enough to really get my final thoughts on this beer. I don't want to let it get too warm. Definitely, I want to keep it as cold as possible. So I'm gonna try to finish this whole thing. Don't know if I will. I kind of just bought this to do a review of it. Sometimes though, I find myself buying 12 packs of PBR or 6 packs. Sometimes when I'm gonna go drinking at a friend's party or something like that, if I don't want to spend a lot of money on some craft beer, or I'm gonna be getting a little tipsy per se. Sometimes you get to the point where you're not tasting the beer correctly. So I want to go for something cheaper. I know what it tastes like, and I'm not worried about wasting my taste buds on terrible beer. This is not terrible beer though. This is not bad. As a selection from like a Budweiser or Bud Light or something, this might take a little step over that. It's got just a little bit more taste. It doesn't have the little bit of off-putting smell or taste that those beers do. This is very, very easy to drink. It's just a pretty solid beer. With that said, most people know my scale. I drink a lot of craft beer, so I rate those a lot higher. I almost feel like I should have another scale for these, but this is going to get a 3 out of 10. But it's almost a good 3 out of 10 because it's got a nice solid taste to it. It goes down really smooth, not a lot of carbonation. It's a great lawnmower beer if you want to grab one. It's super hot outside, ice cold out of the fridge, maybe put it in the freezer for a little bit just to get it ice cold. It's a good solid beer. I would probably choose this over almost every light beer, maybe besides like a Sam Adams light, but almost every light beer. It's a good solid beer. If you've been steering away from Pabst because you think it's terrible, I would go give it a try. You know, if you're drinking like Bud Light or Budweiser or something, or Miller Lite or Coors Light, give this one a try. You might be surprised. Maybe even blindfold yourself and do like a side-by-side, because I think sometimes people just think of Pabst as like a bad, trash beer, but I really think that it's definitely a pretty solid beer and worth picking up at the store if you're out looking for a new beer to try. So until next time, cheers.